People Can Fly, the studio behind Outriders, are back with a new corporate vision, an expanded roster of studios, the biggest team of developers they've ever had, and apparently a ton of new IP stacked into the pipeline, including one in particular that has been seeing a lot of recent attention. Welcome back to the channel. This is LtBuzzLitebeer, and today we are talking Outriders 2, or at least what may be Outriders 2, also known as Project Red, originally teased back in 2021. Now this one has bits and pieces spread all over the internet, but through the use of public statements from PCF, leaks going public just recently from a Sony studio, and just a bit of speculation, we may be looking at our first and quite early indications that Outriders 2 is in the works. Before we dive into this one, please remember to smash that subscribe button, rate the video, and hit that notifications bell to receive all my future upload alerts. Now, this one all started, of course, with the original April 1st release of Outriders back in 2021, a day that should be banned from the calendar from any game releasing, but I digress. The game was initially met with tremendous early success, hitting concurrent player counts in excess of 125,000 players on Steam. But there were sizable issues contained within the game, all covered in length in this video I posted back on January 9th. By the way, links to this video can be found in the video description and pinned comments below. Now later that same year in 2021, PCF teased its upcoming and future projects, including 4 new games, 3 of which were to be self-published, 2 VR games, and a concept project named Project Red, which was to be developed by their European studio, owned by PCF, and according to People Can Fly's group strategy update, to be published by PCF potentially in cooperation with a publisher. No doubt this new strategic path of self-reliance was absolutely shaped by their rocky and apparently unprofitable partnership with Square Enix to promote and distribute Outriders. VG247 dropped an August 2021 article outlining a studio, PCF, that had apparently sold somewhere between 2 and 3 million copies of its Outriders game and had not received its portion of the profits from Square Enix. Quoting from the recent PCF strategy update, published in February of 2023, the company has also built up knowledge, skills, and resources to successfully self-publish games. We are now ready to bring our games to gamers entirely on our own. We have no doubt that in the longer perspective, this may be a much more profitable business than the model to date of cooperating with publishers. Self-publishing a game gives us greater control over the development process, choice of the optimal monetization model, and shaping the marketing, sales, and distribution strategy. Now, all the information I just laid out was important for overall context as we get into the leaks themselves. We've got this fact about this European studio they mentioned, Project Red, and the self-proclaimed willingness to self-promote are all important to kind of link all facets of the story together. In mid-January of 2023, rumors of a leaked sci-fi game from Sony started hitting the game reporting publications. This one from The Gamer is titled Sony's Leaked Sci-Fi Game Theorized to be Outriders Dev's codenamed Red Project, while another from Push Square reads Rumor. Sony's leaked sci-fi RPG is from Outriders dev People Can Fly. Both of these articles, and many others, were based on leaked alpha footage of a new PlayStation sci-fi RPG based in Unreal Engine 5 being developed by XDev in partnership with an unnamed external studio. At the time, the studio was a mystery, but it was known the studio was based in Europe. The leaked clip and image posted on Reset Era shows a single player dressed in some sort of a spacesuit holding a weapon, while a huge alien form in the distance can be seen wrapped around some sort of tower structure. Now, I know it's difficult to make out, but in the bottom right-hand corner of this clip is the word Red, which has led many to theorize this is extremely early footage for Project Red, outlined in PCF's breakdown of upcoming IP as the sequel to Outriders. According to Reset Era user Dusk Golem, who by the way has commented several times concerning this leak, while obviously I can't say if this will come out or not, I'll mention I personally have seen a lot more of this game and more recent stuff of this game than just this clip. Not this clip, but the game itself beyond this clip is, at least at a point currently, the game is fully voice acted, music composed specifically for it, been far more fine-tuned than this clip. I just am looking forward to it eventually getting announced on my side and the devs properly showing it off. The overall stance of the character in this clip is certainly something we would see in an Outriders cutscene, and the sky is of particular interest, and could be an early indication of some sort of atmospheric disturbance akin to the anomaly. Now, for anyone not familiar with XDev, they primarily serve as collaborators for various first and third-party studios who partner to develop exclusive titles for PlayStation, with past games worked on including Death Stranding Director's Cut, Returnal, and Detroit Become Human. Now, given XDev's standard supporting role, it's assumed that this project is being headed up by a third-party studio, and naturally, people have been trying to work out which developer is spearheading this work. But the theory that has garnered the most attention is its People Can Fly. Remember, this was said to be a European studio, which PCF is, shows the word Red at the bottom right-hand corner of the clip, which would align with Project Red, announced in development back in 2021, and the setting in this clip seems to be an alien world third-person shooter, which we know PCF has experience in developing, and it is being built in Unreal Engine, tech the studio has utilized for the past 4 years. Given that Outriders was a day one Xbox Game Pass release and has only recently joined the PlayStation Store as part of its Plus game catalog, I found it interesting to think that Outriders 2 could potentially be a collaboration effort with PlayStation. Now, in terms of where I land on the thought of an Outriders 2, well, after spending 700 plus hours in the original game and probably another 300 to 400 on content creation, man, I'm all in with the idea of a sequel, but outside of the awesome combat loop, interesting side missions, and pre-World Slayer build crafting, PCF really wasn't able to deliver on so many aspects of what makes a game like this a long-term success. Things like no dedicated servers, crazy technical gremlins, an anti-cheat system that actually prevented very little, and odd design choices often flying in the opposite direction from what an overwhelming portion of the player base was asking for, all kind of contributed to an extremely polarizing response. I'll leave you with this. Any game that can punch over 125,000 concurrent players on Steam at launch has done something to create enormous buzz around their product, and I believe Outriders truly did just that. Players enjoyed the core aspects of this game, but it was all the other BS that truly destroyed any momentum PCF was able to generate with Outriders. If I could say anything to the team working on Part 2, it would be to learn from your mistakes, invest in dedicated servers, embrace a solid anti-cheat system, draw on the strengths of what made Outriders unique, spend the needed resources to really develop a much more robust single-player experience, embrace new in-game concepts beyond just speed-clearing chambers, and above all, learn to draw on what your player base is telling you. For instance, if your players are unanimously crying out that the end game is just too much of a grind, it's too oppressive, and instead of taking that into consideration, you instead double down and make the end game grind even grindier, yeah, that's a bad look all around. Rumor has it that more on this project will be revealed sometime in 2023, and I look forward to reading your feedback in the comments section below concerning anything Outriders or Outriders 2. Remember to smash that sub button and ring the bell to receive my latest upload alerts. If you could take a few seconds more to rate and or share this video, it would be greatly appreciated. You can find and follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and over in my community Discord server, links to all of which can be found in the video description and pinned comments below. A huge shout out to the Buzz Battalion over on Patreon. Without your continued support, content creation like this is not possible. If you're interested in supporting the channel on Patreon, links can be found in the video description. Until the next one, this is LtBuzzLitebeer, signing off.